Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Eternals video. Yes, I'm sorry, we're still on the insane train here with this duo. I want to say that this is the last, but there's going to be an event video popping up tomorrow talking about how we can get Icarus unlocked free to play and what we will be expected to do a la the Eternal Connections event. Today, however, we will be going through some of the raid footage of both Doom Raid 1 and 2 with the duo in their Mystic Lane and how absolutely powerful they are. I want to say once again that all of this footage that you see me present over the past week has been with a 3 yellow, 3 red duo. So this is pretty much a bare minimum unlock as far as shards go. And I'm just gobsmacked still how powerful these characters are and how much they trivialize almost everything in their path. So we're going to be going through this, and I'll be pointing out some of the previously challenging portions of the raid and how it just doesn't matter with these two. So without further ado, let's get this insanity started once again. Alright, so we're going to start things off fresh here with Doom Raid 1, and this is the footage that I pre-recorded for that, and we're popping everything out here. This is, I don't know, I hate that sometimes when you just go into a raid node, it just gives you your strongest characters. So we are actually going through with new warriors and Icarus and Cersei, so the Eternals with new warriors in the center. So for this, I'm actually using Dagger in the center next to the new warriors. However, I have also tried using Dagger with Icarus next to her. I don't know if it really matters, actually, now that I think about it. I think Icarus, honestly, I really apologize that I can't remember the kits half the time, because it's so long. I'm pretty sure Icarus does have offense up in their kit after the spawn. I know they start spawned with offense up, but after that. So here are sometimes where the problem is yo-yo in this first node. Typically not a big problem, though. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure I can just go in with the alt, and it should flip, right? It flips the defense down. Now, I do have offense down, unfortunately, so it didn't do a crazy ton of damage. But what's important here is the alt. It's the alts. Both of the alts going back to back, you know, reduces 50% turn bar at the start. And very few characters outspeed them, so they're going almost immediately, and it's absolutely crazy. And after that, you know, it just kind of falls apart. You know, I get all of my attacks, and hell, I'm not even using Cloak and Dagger's ult because I don't really want to waste the energy at this point, despite having Deadpool there. I think maybe I use Dagger's ult, but I don't think I use Cloak's ult. I don't really remember. No, I don't even use that. Okay, so I'm trying to be mindful of making sure that Deathpool does regenerate all of my ability energy. You can see down here, it's hard to see because it kind of cuts off, but I'm at 2 out of 5 right now on my alt, and the basic itself does a ton of damage. I think for this was actually the very first time I recorded and ran these characters with Doom Raid 1 here, but it's just crazy how powerful that Icarus basic is. Triple attack with the Cersei Skirmisher, so that's what I have, and then a Striker follow-up with Icarus. And, you know, you don't even need to use very many major attacks, as long as you're using the new warriors. Now, if you're not using the new warriors at this point, if you're still in that Doom War 1 category, then I would recommend to try and fit as many new warriors as possible. However, I would probably get Deathpool up first, because that's just one character, whereas Cloak and Dagger often need to be used together. You don't have to, but Deathpool is very important to get that ability energy flying around. So we're going to skip ahead a bit, because this isn't, you know, this is really easy. You can see that we just crushed it, that one. So we're going to move ahead towards the second node here. And where I find some really, partial annoyance here with the second node is the She-Hulk. So I'm sure you guys know She-Hulk, just after, you know, you hit these guys a bunch of times, she flips back all the buffs and tosses at you. But what's really important here is that Cersei stun. So I didn't go for the alt, I went for the Cersei stun on She-Hulk, because in the past you could have used like Adam Warlock's alt to stun She-Hulk and things like that if you had it ready. But I like that Cersei goes basically first. You know, the turn bars on these characters is nuts, really. And so after you do that, that's most of the trouble for this node, to be honest. But what's really important is that they do so much damage. These characters do so much damage. Do try to get Deathpool's charges to 5. So what that means is you need to use the alt at least once per node. If you're doing all 3 of the nodes up to the boss node, in order to get to 5 charges, so that you can save that for Dr. Doom. Now, you probably could just blow right through them with the Eternals instead of using the Deathpool alt, but making sure that you have that charge for Deathpool's alt for the final boss node is really important. So you can see that I only have 3. That's 3, I'm pretty sure. So I probably use it at some point here, knowing that I kind of need to. I think Do I use it? I'm like, well, maybe I don't even use it. We'll find out. You know what? Maybe I just blow right through the boss. But what I would recommend still is making sure that if you're trying to properly use Death Pool, especially to one-shot Doom somewhere in the match, then you do need to make sure that you have those charges available. Maybe I was testing myself, but you know, here, I would normally recommend doing that. So we're going to jump ahead once again, and we have here the start of the Doom Raid Mystic boss node. Doom Raid 1. Keep in mind, this is Doom Raid 1. We're going to be talking about Doom Raid 2 in a minute. So, okay, I guess we just go right into the alt, because it's going to knock back all the turn bar, right? So even though there's no buffs to flip, they're still losing 30% turn bar. 25% turn bar? 25% turn bar, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, I wasn't able to one-shot Doom because I didn't have the 5 charges. But we apparently go for the stun on Squirrel Girl. That's a bit strange. I guess we just do so much damage here. Cloak and Daggers all do so much damage as well. I just went balls to the wall here. Apparently I just obliterated them all. So how much damage was that? That Dagger ult? I can't even see. But that was Cloak's ult. Dagger's ult just killed 500k or 750. I can't tell. There was a 749, 725. Holy crap. I don't know who that was. I think the 500k was Doom. Or maybe the 343k was Doom. I don't know. Either way, Cloak and Dagger are also heavy hitters. So clearly I didn't even need the Eternals to help me out there. But still, it is just bonkers how powerful these characters really are. It's just wow. And putting in together with the new Warriors, it just really eliminates the need to have Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, or any other Mystic that you were previously using on these nodes. Just completely eliminates the need for them. You don't need them at all. Yeah, I guess I just used the ult there on Invisible Woman as a support character just to get rid of her. And then after this, really, I know this is the end. So once you're at the boss node, you're not using any of these characters on other nodes. So you can feel free to just blow them up, which is what I do. And so I guess now that we're taking Dr. Doom out, and I want to say Doom, yeah, Doom Surfer, Adam Warlock, not needed anymore in these raid nodes. So what this allows you to do for at least Dr. Doom is that you can save him or not use him, right? So you can save the cooldown specifically for the tech lane, which is still a bit of an issue. We'll have to wait and see if whether or not we actually get a tech character in the next patch. There's the silhouettes that went live. We'll be talking about that at on a different video. But yeah, we'll have to see whether or not Doom gets kicked out of tech as well as Mystic. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, you can see here how this content is just being trivialized with these characters, and it's not that hard, even though, you know, it looks like my death pool is maybe a bit on the ropes, but she's not really. And the only actually, you know what, I don't think there's any real downsides to these characters at all. You can literally just blow up everything, AoE, and then everything is just like dead. That's how these characters work. And so you don't need to see the rest of it finished off. So we're gonna move on to Doom Raid 2, and we're going to take a look at how easier that is, or not easier, how much easy that still is, although a little bit harder than Doom Raid 1. Alright, so here we are back on Doom Raid 2. So again, this was all pre-recorded footage because I did this late at night, about 2 days or so after Icarus was released. I'm just getting around to the video now, just because there's been so much to talk about with these characters. Once again, we're going in with the new Warriors Eternals duo here, so the 5 of them. This is absolutely one of the most bonkers raid group that, you know, as far as all of the lanes go for Doom Raid 2, this is the strongest for sure, hands down. It's absolute insanity. The whole Eternals duo is absolute insanity. I've been talking about this, you know, all week. It's really crazy how powerful they are. So you guys might be familiar with this part of Doom Raid 2. The Astonishing X-Men are a bit of a pain in the ass. So normally, what I would do without the Eternals is I would bring in Silver Surfer, I would ability block Bishop, and then I would spread the ability block with Deathpool. And now you'll see that you don't really need to do that anymore because they start with spawn buffs. So this is a lot of fun for Icarus. Boom. So it doesn't do a ton of damage, you know, but it does knock back the turn bar, which is really important. So here, I don't know, I just go into the alt, I think, just to build the charges, I think, with her. That's probably what I do. I'm just assuming. No? Do I spread? Okay, there we go. So That does a lot of damage. Bishop's almost already dead already. So there's been times where people probably get into trouble here, because if the Astonishing X-Men live too long, they just go back and forth, and they do a lot of damage with the turn bar. If they kill someone, they get turn bar, and it's really tough to get out of. So it's real important to at least kill Beast, but just to kill any of them on that right side. So make sure you're focusing them on that right side. A lot of people make this mistake of trying to kill Kestrel. It's really not a big deal, and especially if you're not using anyone with summons. If you're not using Doom anymore, then there's no need to actually target her first. Her power's not as crazy as some of us using her as a player. So Bishop's dead, you know, they just disappeared. They just died right off the bat, and then Beast's dead, and then the Deathpool passive just wrecked her. So now we're back, and the special doesn't actually do a ton of damage. So if there isn't any deflex on the enemy, Icarus's special actually doesn't do a ton. However, I was hitting 5 people, so I thought, hey, why not? So I thought maybe it'd be better. Did get that defense down, I guess, there. And so at this point, I think I try to stun Maria Hill, because I don't want her to remove any buffs, things like that. I don't even think she's stunned. I probably should have stunned Kestrel, actually, but I think she might die before it even matters. Use the basic. No, I spread it. Doesn't matter. Hits everyone. Damage all over the place. Kestrel probably dies before she even gets a turn, because that's a bit of an issue. I just like putting the debuffs on everyone here. And this node is pretty much over. I mean, this is the 7 of them, right? And I was like, you know, I could use the dagger ult just to wipe them all out, but I want to save my cooldowns. I want to make sure that I have my cooldowns for the next level, just in case, right? You know, so we just, the Icarus basic, so much damage for a basic attack. It's really bonkers. That's it. You know, it's already over, so you don't really need me to show the rest of the match. There we go. We skip ahead a little bit. Boom, we're done. Node number 2 for Doom Raid 2. Skip ahead a little bit here. Now, this one, I think is easier than Node 1, frankly, even though it's later in the raid. I think a lot of people get hung up on Node 1 a little bit here. This one's not too challenging. Actually, there's more buffs to flip in general as well, and that's if Doc Ock gets his special off. I don't know if he does or not when I'm using them here. And we need to build that ult, like I said. So this is even more important, I think, for Doom Raid 2. None of these characters off the bat ability block, so you do need that charge for Deathpool to make sure that you one-shot Dr. Doom in the boss node for Doom Raid 2. That's really important, I think, in my opinion. But the same sort of mechanics apply. We just AoE the shit out of everything here, so, you know, it's not too crazy. I go for the triple attack here on Taskmaster to make sure he's down. He has defense down, so I don't like Taskmaster, and then boom, that's 6 out of 10. At this point, you know, I don't even need to use cooldowns, probably. Do I even use cooldowns? It's 5. I probably shouldn't. No, oh, I do. Okay. Hopefully I get my energy back. I probably do with all the kills in there. So that would be a great time to flip all of these buffs with Icarus, actually. But it's... yeah, it's just so easy now, you know? Especially if you got the level-appropriate character. So I do want to say that this footage here is with... the Doom Raid 1 footage was actually with Gear Tier 14. Doom Raid 2 footage was Gear Tier 15. This happened a little bit after, maybe a day or two after the previous footage. But I think that you could actually get away with about Gear Tier 12 in Doom Raid 1. I think that for people still running Doom Raid 1, I mean, I would max them. I would... absolutely. If you can max them, max them. You know, you really should. That's how powerful the Eternals are. However, if you're restrained or constrained because of levels, commander level, that kind of thing, then, you know, you could probably clear Doom Raid 1 Mystic with level 75, you know, Gear Tier 14, or sorry, Gear Tier 12 is what I was trying to say, so that's like level 65 even, but, you know, I would try to get them at least to level 70. So this level is basically over. You don't need to see the rest of the match. Sometimes Ghost is a bit annoying for her dodging, but otherwise we're going to move on to the last boss. And this is where there is a bit of a problem, because you do need an ability block, and or you need Deathpool with 5 charges, one or the other. And you can see, actually, if I just scroll back a little bit, these are the previous characters that I used to use. I didn't really use Ebony Maw in Doom Raid 2, but I did use Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer and Doom even on a rotating basis. But now I don't need to, because these characters are here. They're basically benched, and it's kind of sad, because both Adam Warlock and Surfer for me have become kind of war characters now, I guess. I'm not really using them anywhere else since they got kicked to the curb in Doom Raid. I guess Adam Warlock might be, you know, this is a long down the line, possibly might be used in Doom Raid Dark Dimension 5, but we'll have to see about that. So we start off with the ult here. and we do both ults, so that turns back a lot, a 50% turn bar total. We're going to get the ult on Dr. Doom and one-shot him, so that's really important, to make sure you get that out, nip that in the bud as early as you possibly can, and then after that, we just kind of go into like an AoE frenzy here, you know, with Cloak and Dagger, you know, just whatever, just kill them as fast as you can. That's basically what's going to happen here at this point. We're just doing lots of damage, we're killing people, ability energy is flying left and right, and we try to get that much as we can. Try to flip that taunt, get rid of that. And we have that. I'm surprised I did the special there. I guess I wanted to blind Sharon Carter, probably. Again, we got a Cloak ult. Boom. Everything. People just drop dead. I think I'm on low graphics mode, actually, because sometimes they're not even doing their attacks. They're just... If you saw that, Cloak just did his attack and people just drop dead. Because that's really what Doom Raid Mystic is all about. It's just them dropping dead. Get another ult. I don't even know if it matters. Do we get a kill? No, we don't get a kill, so we don't get the follow-up. But it doesn't matter, because all of this turn bar rewind, with all of the debuffs they have with slow, it's just absolutely insane. It is so crazy. And even though we're at 8 out of 15 characters, it's frankly over at this point. You know, boom, 6 out of... With the Death Pool passive, it's pure insanity. Now, I probably should be running something like Doom 2.3 with these characters, so my apologies that this is Doom 2.0 content. It's not 2.3 content, because my alliance, we're a very casual alliance, we're not there yet. I don't know if we'll ever get there necessarily, but be rest assured. Oh, and also look at all that damage, the deflex on Cap Sam, it did a bunch of extra attacks. Rest assured that these characters are completely valid at the 3-star level, and, you know, because some people ask, are these characters good at a low star level? And that's a very valid, fair, you know, question to ask. And this is a resounding yes. The Eternals are absolutely the strongest characters I have seen come to Marvel Strike Force to date, and are viable at the low star level. 3-star in this case for Icarus, 2-star for Cersei. The last time I ever really gave someone a resounding yes on a new character for low star levels probably was Cap Sam. Actually, Cap Sam and Kestrel were probably some of the best ones to come to the game at a low star level. I guess Silver Surfer, but sometimes you could argue his damage was a bit low at 2-star as well. That being said, these characters, without a doubt, some of the best characters in the game, and you should absolutely level them. Make sure that you check out my video tomorrow when I talk about the Icarus event, so you can get Icarus free to play if you haven't unlocked them already. Make sure that you gear up these duo as fast as you possibly can. Cersei's been available for a while, her event's over now, so do get these characters ready and prepped if you haven't, because they are absolutely the best characters that you can invest in right now at this time. So that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this duo. I'm sure some of you have followed along the last recent string of videos I've released on the Eternals, but they're absolutely bonkers. So till next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.